You are a slave and you don't even know it. And I know that probably just triggered the shit out of some of you. Good. That trigger, that's your programming trying to protect itself from the truth. Look, every morning you wake up, drag yourself to work, make money for someone else, then come home too exhausted to actually live your life. This isn't living. This is slavery with better marketing. What's going on, everyone? I'm Reeves, and if you have been feeling trapped in a system that profits from your powerlessness, this is going to wake you up from the matrix. Actually, let me tell you something most people don't realize. From the day you were born, you have been systematically programmed to accept this. Your parents did it to you because it was done to them. Your teachers reinforced it. Society perfected it. You know what's crazy? I was thinking about this yesterday. The self-help industry, billion-dollar industry, right, is designed to keep you broken. Think about it for a second. If the methods actually worked, they go out of business. They need you to stay struggling, so you keep buying their solutions. They sell you course after course, book after book, promising you'll be fixed if you just buy one more thing. But here's the truth they don't want you to know. You were never broken. You were just programming to think you were. Actually, let me give you an example of how deep this goes. Your parents programmed you for limitation without even realizing it. Money doesn't grow on trees. Life is hard. You have to work hard to get ahead. Sound familiar? These aren't truths. These are programs running in your subconscious mind like a malware on a computer. Meanwhile, wealthy people program their kids completely differently. They'll say, how can we afford it? Instead of, we can't afford it. Same reality, different programming, completely different results. You know what I realized? The difference between those who thrive and those who struggle isn't opportunity, isn't luck, isn't even talent. It's programming. And here's the beautiful thing about programming. It can be reprogrammed. But first, you need to understand something that's going to blow your mind. Everything you want already exists in your reality right fucking now. You just can't see it because you have been programmed to look in the wrong place. This is not spiritual nonsense. This is how reality actually works. The moment you make a decision about who you are, you instantly move to the reality where that's true. Not when you deserve it, not when you have worked hard enough, the second you decide. Actually, let me explain this better. You know how quantum physics tells us, and what ancient wisdom has known for centuries? All possibilities exist simultaneously. Your desire isn't a request for something to be created. It's recognition of something that already is. But most people make a decision and then spend months doubting themselves back to their old reality. They check their bank account expecting to see millions. They look around expecting everything to be different immediately. But that's not how it works. The shift happens energetically first, then the physical reality catches up. Your job is to maintain the frequency of your new reality while the old reality dissolves and the new one solidifies. Here's something I learned studying consciousness. You're not broke, you're just programmed for struggle. You're not unlucky, you're just programmed for limitation. And the beautiful thing about programming is that it can be reprogrammed. But here's where most people get stuck, right? They try to change the external circumstances without changing their internal programming. It's like trying to change what's on your TV screen by yelling at the TV instead of just changing the channel. Actually, this reminds me of something else. Everyone who triggers you is showing you something about yourself that you don't want to see. And this is going to be uncomfortable to hear, but it's liberating once you get it. That difficult boss, that's your inner authority issues. That needy friend, that's your inner neediness. That judgmental family member, that's your inner critic. I figured this out when I kept attracting the same type of situations over and over. Different people, different circumstances, but the same patterns. That's when I realized, oh shit, it's not them, it's me. When you try to convince someone to love you, you're really trying to convince yourself that you're lovable. When you get triggered by someone's behavior, you're reacting to a part of yourself that you have rejected. And this is why Struggling people attract struggling opportunities. This is why insecure people attract toxic relationships. This is why victims attract more victimization. Your external world is just your internal world projected outward. You know what's fucking crazy about this? When you react to someone's behavior, you're giving your power away to a reflection in the mirror. You're letting a projection of your own consciousness control your emotional state. But here's the beautiful part. When you change your internal frequency, right? When you start loving yourself, respecting yourself, valuing yourself, watch how everyone around you starts treating you differently. It's not that they've changed, it's that you are now reflecting a different frequency. Now, let me tell you about something even more insidious. Now, wealthy people know a secret about language that struggling people don't. And it's going to blow your mind how simple this is, but also how powerful it is. Every time you say, I cannot afford it, you're programming your brain for poverty. Every time they say, how can I afford it? They're programming their brain for wealth. Every time you say, I am, you're literally commanding reality. I am broke creates broke. I am successful creates success. Your words aren't descriptions, they're instructions to the universe. But most people use their word unconsciously. I am struggling, I am stressed, I am not good enough. Then they wonder why their life reflects exactly what they have been commanding. You know what I realized? Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. It only knows what you tell it through your words, thoughts, and emotions. So when you say, I am successful, your subconscious starts looking for evidence of success. When you say, I am broke, it starts looking for evidence of poverty. Meanwhile, successful people say, I am powerful, I am abundant, I am unstoppable, until reality has no choice but to match that frequency. They understand that their I am statements aren't hopes or wishes. They're commands to the subconscious mind and to reality itself. You're the programmer of your own reality. Every word you speak is coded. Every thought you think is programming. Choose your code wisely because your subconscious is always listening and always obeying. But here's what happens when you start changing your programming. The moment you start leveling up, everyone around you becomes a program trying to pull you back down, right? And here's why this happens. It's not personal, it's systematic. Your family members might say, don't get too big for your britches. Your friend might say, remember where you came from. And your coworker might say, who the fuck do you think you are? Now, this isn't because they hate you. It's because your growth threatens their comfort zone. When you change, it forces them to look at their own lives. And most people would rather pull you down than step up themselves. This is not a coincidence. This is the matrix defending itself. When one person wakes up, it threatens the entire system. So the system uses everyone around you to keep you asleep. I remember when I first started changing my programming, leveling up my mindset, the people closest to me became my biggest obstacles, unfortunately. Not because they were bad people, but because my growth was making them uncomfortable with their own lack of growth. But here's what you need to understand. They're not trying to hurt you. They're just running their programming. When you are 100% certain of who you are, no external program can shake you. But when you have doubt, the world uses other people to amplify that doubt. Your family will say you are being unrealistic. Your friends will say you're changing. Your coworkers will say you're getting too big for your britches. But what they're really saying is, your growth is making me uncomfortable with my own lack of growth. The world can only give you what you're already giving yourself. So give yourself permission to be powerful, even if nobody else does. Now, here's the formula that successful people use to control their reality. And it's simpler than you think, but requires consistency. Deny, choose, and be. Every time your old programming shows up, and it will, you deny it. Choose the new truth, and be that truth regardless of what you see with your very own eyes. You check your bank account and see less than you want. Old programming is going to say, I'm broke. The new you says, nope, I'm abundant, and move on. Your face Rejection and your old programming says, I'm not good enough. New you says, nope, I am chosen, and keeps going. Let me give you a practical example. You want to make more money. Old programming says, that's impossible for someone like me. You deny that, nope, you choose the new truth, I easily attract wealth. Then you be that truth. You think like someone who attracts wealth. You act like someone who attracts wealth. You feel like someone who attracts wealth. The key is consistency. Every time the old programming shows up, and it will show up because it's been running for years with you, you deny it, choose your truth, and be that truth. Eventually, your subconscious accepts the new programming as reality, and your external world has no choice but to reflect that. This is how you deprogram yourself from limitation and reprogram yourself for success. Reality is just programming, and you are the programmer. Keep coding until the system runs your program instead of someone else's. You know, what's beautiful about all this? You don't have to wait for permission. You don't have to wait for proof. You don't have to wait for anyone else to believe in you. You just decide who you are, deny anything that contradicts that, and be that person consistently. Look, I could talk about this for hours because there's so much more to unpack, but that's the foundation. You're not the victim of circumstances. You're the creator of them. You're not broken and needing to be fixed. You're just programmed and needing to be reprogrammed. The real question is, are you ready to stop being a slave to limitation and start being the master of your reality? Because the power to reprogram your entire life has been inside you this whole time. You just forgot how to use it.